And a channel update for spring, summer 2015. I haven't been making a lot of videos lately, although I have been uploading slowly that Carl Sagan book review for a little while. A lot of parts to that, because I've been keeping the minutes down, because I think unfortunately, a lot of people have a short attention span and only want to watch a 5-minute video, so I've been trying to keep the minutes on them low, but a lot of my time has been being taken up by writing a dissertation, and which is essentially a book. This is going to be 200 pages at least, and that's taking up a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of motivation and strain, and it's not letting me do much other things that I'd really like to do. But it's something that I am going to finish, and something I hope will be beneficial for later. But it is taxing, and it's been a long haul. I don't know if anyone's interested in me discussing what it's like to do a PhD, but if there is, then just let me know in the comments. In terms of games I've been playing lately, because I know the basis of the channel used to be video games, I have been playing not a lot of games because I've been so busy, but in terms of games, I have been playing a little bit of Fort Zombie, which is an old game, but still fun. I've also been playing Prison Architect. They've recently updated it, and they added gangs. And it used to be a pretty easy game to play, but now it's a lot harder. I was building a new building in my prison, and all of a sudden, about 15 prisoners just decided to go over there and take it over and kick all the workers out. And I sent a cop in there, and they beat up the cops, so I had to send the riot police, and I never had to do that before. In all the Prison Architects games I've played before, I've never ever had to use riot police, because whenever you have some kind of problem, it's usually only 3 or 4. But if there's 15, you got to send in the riot police. So I had to do that, and of course that creates a huge mess because now you got 15 prisoners who are beaten up, and 1 or 2 cops, and they all have to be healed, and they all have to go to solitary. So for a time for punishment. So they're making the game a lot harder. Prison Architect. I've also been playing Colonization. I have a few videos of Colonization on my channel, just 2 of them, just for fun. It is a classic DOS game, but it is fantastic. It is a great trading game. It is a great economic game, and it's a historical game. Just got a lot of good things in it. Another one I've been playing is 7 Days to Die, which is it's a decent zombie game. It's pretty good. It's a kind of a combination of Minecraft and a little bit of Minecraft. I should really de-emphasize Minecraft, but it's got a little bit of Minecraft crafting and breaking stuff and then moving it, like breaking some dirt and then moving the dirt. Although they're not blocks. They've smoothed all that over. But it is a zombie game. The zombies show up and you shoot them and all that. It's getting pretty good. But what I usually do is a new patch comes out, a new alpha comes out. I play that for a bit and then I get bored. And they recently added bikes that you can build with a motor and all that. You can even store stuff in it, but there's been a lot of bugs with it. I stored stuff in the bike, and then all of a sudden it all just blew out onto the ground. I had to pick it all up to save it, and I lost some of it. Or the basket that you store stuff in the bike, your inventory just disappears. Or I even drove the thing into the ground and went down and just fell to nowhere. I went under the ground. I went under the world, so to speak. And so that's obviously, there's all kinds of bugs to do with those bikes. One I wanted to talk about more specifically, a game I've been playing, is called Faster Than Light. It's an indie game, but it's actually very good, well designed, has great music, and I might even just make a video of playing it for maybe one of the. There's the point of the game is you're in a spaceship and you have to fly. You're running away from these rebels that have a fleet, and there's about maybe 6 different, I guess you could call them galaxies that you travel through. And in each galaxy, there's maybe 10 or 15 star systems that you fly to. And you're constantly flying left to right. It's turn-based, so you fly to a system and then you stay there. And you fly to the next one. But eventually you're going through these systems. And you're picking up parts, and you're beating up pirates, and you're picking up new crew and new guns for your ship. And you can use scrap metal that you pick up to buy things and to upgrade your ship and to get more power and to improve the doors and to improve your engine and all that stuff. So that's pretty neat. So I might actually do a little video on that because I think it's a pretty good game. Okay, in terms of new videos, I've been uploading those Carl Sagan ones on Cosmos, which is a fantastic astronomy book, and it was redone by what's his name? It was redone recently, and it was still called Cosmos, but it was nowhere near as good as Carl Sagan's Cosmos. But it was recently redone, but I can't remember the guy's name. But in terms of new stuff, I do have John Stuart Mill's autobiography. I've got about, I think, maybe 4 or 5 videos on him. Some of the interesting stuff from his education and also his views. He used to be, until about the Industrial Revolution, there were no intellectuals that were full-time. Almost pretty much all of them had some other occupation. Either they were teachers like Aristotle and Plato, or they were John Stuart Mill was an office worker in the East India Company, and all kinds of other stuff. Herbert Spencer was a civil engineer, and then he was an editor, and then he actually made money. One of the rare few people in history to actually make money off his own book sales. And they didn't have to work. That's Herbert Spencer. But for the longest time, everyone had a part-time. Everyone was a part-time intellectual. Not until really the 20th century and after the Industrial Revolution do we get full-time intellectuals. So I do have some videos on John Stuart Mill. I have all kinds of new book videos for this era, for this summer. I've got book videos on education and psychology and history and other stuff like that. Those will be released slowly. I've got a long review on Genghis Khan. I'm probably going to try to cut them down to maybe half-an-hour sections or something like that, but maybe less than that, maybe 20-minute sections. But I've done a long review on Genghis Khan. It's actually a fantastic book by Jack Weatherford on Genghis Khan. And I've also got a video or so on a review of what's called Homer Economicus. It's a book on economics, but it uses The Simpsons, the cartoon, to discuss economics. And so I've got a few videos on that. I also want to mention, that's about it for news from our channel, but I also want to mention a new nonfiction book reviewer that I found on YouTube. I've been trying to get to compile a list of these people because it's so rare to find people who read anymore, which is odd. And it's so rare to find people who it's not so rare to find people who review any books on YouTube. There's all kinds of what are called booktubers who review the latest young adult, not the kind of stuff I read. There's tons of those kinds of videos, but it's far rarer to find someone who review nonfiction books like I do on my channel. I've, of course, mentioned Mr. Cropper for a long time as probably one of the most important nonfiction book reviewers on YouTube, but he doesn't make videos anymore. But in terms of a new person I found, and I will link his channel in the description, his name is Long-Haired Freaky Dude, and but I will put his I'll put a link to his channel underneath. His channel is called Mr. Crazy Jake 451, but I'll put a link in the description of this video. He's got a bit of a character that he's made for himself, or at least I think it's a character. He's a very eccentric person, but it's either a character or that's how he is. I'm not sure. But he's got a lot of book reviews on his channel, and he's got some stuff on the great books, Mortimer J. Adler, the great books, which is just fantastic. I respect anyone who takes the great books seriously. And you may have seen the video I've done on the great books, the 10-volume set that I have of that. But so I'm glad to find another person on YouTube who makes videos like I do. And I am trying to make a list of these people. I've done, I think, another update video where I listed a few other people that I found on YouTube that have some decent book review videos on nonfiction or classics. I respect the classics and I respect nonfiction. So if someone, and there are some people who review something like Jane Eyre by Bronte, or review Mark Twain, or whatever it is, The Odyssey by Homer, something like that is respectable. But book reviews of Harry Potter or Twilight are not respectable. But anyways, nonfiction is definitely respectable, and the great books are even more respectable. So there's another person to add to a list of nonfiction book reviewers on YouTube. So that's it for my channel update for this 2015 summer and spring.